This is not new sawmill PPE. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sawmill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry, and I've got Danny hunting for chipmunks over there, and hopefully you'll get to see him at some point in this video. What I got going on today is a little bit different than normal. I've been working on my surrounds around my sawmill and trying to get rid of some of the trash. I do have my tree guy coming out to chip all my slab wood and a bunch of the junk wood that's lying around. And I've been trying to use up the junk wood. As some of you have seen, I've been building lumber bunks, and yesterday I embarked on what I thought was going to become a firewood bunker. And it went a little bit of a different direction, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, once upon a time, we used to have a deck back here that we used to call the tree house. There was a massive maple stump with 5 different leaders coming off it that sat right behind the garage right there. And on top of that, there was a deck. That deck was almost the height of that low roof that you see up there. And over the years, that maple stump finally started to rot out and finally became unstable. We had some friends coming into town with little kids during the summer one year, and I had to take the whole thing down with the bobcat. When I took it down, all that structure, and it was real beefy 6x6, all pressure treated, and even some bigger beams in it, all lagged together with monster inch stuff, ended up in a pile out front so that we could have Paul Moskovsky run a dump truck over here. We could load up the dump truck with all the scrap, and it could go to the scrap yard. That never happened, and that stuff sat there and sat there and sat there. And I'm going to show you what I dreamed up and what is coming to reality right now. So let's do this. Let's go over and see Danny, because part of that structure, these were the stairs that I built years ago to go up to it. It kind of had a ladder going up to it, and it had that big slide coming down off of it. There he is, the miscreant, Mr. Wayward Wanderer. But these were the stairs that I built, and they had rope going through those posts for a grab rail. And we kind of kept them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into, I'm going to cut them in half and have them come up kind of like a teepee on both sides and put them in the yard for a little agility thing for Danny to run up and down on both sides. But let's go take a look at what I did with the junk from the base. So this is really one of the chunks of the treehouse that kind of stayed together in the scrap pile. And as I was going to build a wood bunker the other day, I said, hey, you know what? I'll grab that, just throw pine across the top of it, put at least 2 walls on it and a little roof, and I'll use it for a firewood bunker that I can either set out front by the camp wood bin or use out back out here by our fire pit. And then I was looking at it, kind of had a little bit of a funky shape here. I'll bring you over in a second to show you, but this huge galvanized hardware in here, and it was a little long here, and I kind of struggled with the design a little bit. And then I said, you know what? I've got a better idea for this. This is going to become my farmer's porch on the front of my equipment shed. And I'll show you what my idea is. So I cut a bunch of black oak flitches that were lying around, and I made the corner one, which is going to fit like that, and it makes up for that little bump out right there, and this is going to be where the door is, and it kind of creates a little natural walk-up spot. I am just about to top this thing with all the black oak, and I'm going to give you a look real quick. So these are all just black oak flitches that I ripped down into boards. I'll give you a look at what the corner's kind of going to look like. So that's kind of what the corner is going to look like. And I'll shave off that corner with the chainsaw after I get it all topped. I did reinforce and square up this whole thing. It's got huge lag bolts. The only thing that I really couldn't deal with, if you see that one bolt sticking up there, that is going to have to be a cutout on the deck top. The other side of this, I tried to flip it over. The other side just wasn't flush enough on the other side to put really a deck on top of it. And this is going to be a perfect spot over by the door because I kind of have to drive around that corner with the bobcat. I thought that losing that little corner there actually helps me a little bit, and I'm going to take you over and show you. So here's the area right here where the little farmer's porch is going to go, with my little chair that's going to go out there and a little table so I can come out here and have coffee in the morning. And eventually I will put posts on it and run a little less pitch roof up under the tin there so that it has a roof on it. But for now, it's just going to be a flat deck. But if you can see where I drive around the corner here, that little cutout kind of works in my favor, and it's kind of the right shape for the ground here. And it's kind of the right length to do it. Now, it's not the whole length of the shed, but it's going to fit on there perfect. And it's going to kind of have that corner missing there where I drive around the corner. So I got to do a little bit of groundwork over here just to get this down and level. This ground is underneath what you see right there. The subsoil is ridiculously hard. It's like rock. So I'm going to scrape that out, push all this stuff out of the way. That's all going to get burnt in the fire pit. I'm going to level out a spot there. And when I'm done building this thing, it's going to get stuffed in there right up against the shed. And the door will open over the top of it. And it'll be a little step up into the shed. And it's just going to be a little spot to sit and have coffee in the morning. There he is. He's back. He's taking a break. Danny, you want to say hi? No, you don't like things being pointed at you? All right, so we got the deck done. It's all screwed down. If you saw me in the hyperlapse, you probably didn't see it, but I was trying to kind of use my screws so that I could have all exactly the same ones in. I was running short on a box of 3-inch screws. So you see you can nice and flush and straight in the back, nice and flush and straight in the front with my cool little curve here that's going to go next to the door where you can walk up onto it. I have an oak runner in the center that I cut out of, it was one of those trailer boards for Lawrence Lynch that was eaten up with, actually you can see it right here, it was eaten up with ants, but it was like 8 inches wide. So I cut a 3.5-inch wide by 2-inch thick chunk out of it on the side grain direction, so it'd be nice and solid. And I put that down the middle for a runner, as you guys saw. And I put a block, I screwed a block up underneath it so it was flush to the top out of oak. And then I timber locked it from the end with an 8-inch timber lock. So it goes 3 inches into the beam on both ends to hold the center so there's no bounce in it. Yeah, it's just, like I said, black oak scraps that were sitting around the yard. This is the mess that's left over and some of what's over there. And I threw some in that pile. So now we got to do some groundwork, and I'll probably hyperlapse through that, and then maybe we'll get this thing set in place. Got my site supervisor checking it out. See if he does any leveling here. You see anything, Dan? You see anything? So I got The hole basically roughed in. It's basically level. It's a teeny little bit high, like right where my finger is, kind of leaning backwards a little bit, but it's pretty basically level right now. There's a pretty good slope off right here. I think I got to take a little bit of this out of here, but I'm going to come set it in there and let's see what it looks like. Oh, look, he's working. He's getting level. See? Look at that. He's saying, no, this is high here, Dad. I'm bringing it down. Look at him. He's like, yep, still high. Oh, we got to get that root out of there. It's like, oh, good helper. Look at him. So, yeah, it's a little high right here, Dad. Look at that. All right, I got that part level. All right, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to throw the forks on and come over here and let's set it in the hole and let's see what it looks like and what we got to do to it. Oh, look at, oh no, now he's going deep. Oh no, now he's going way deep. Danny, hey, stop it. So I think what I'm going to do is I have a bench inside that's going to come out of the inside shed. I think I'm going to put that down at the end down there. It's just about the length of that, I believe, and it's got to come out anyway. I was going to put it up on the deck, but then I decided it's probably going to be too big, so I think I'm going to shove this way and put the bench in over there. So I'm going to go measure it, see how much I got to shove it over, and we'll shove this over this way. It's sitting pretty flat right now. It looks like I got a little bit of dirt I want to get out in between the deck and the shed. I'll probably just pull it back and do that with a shovel, but let's see what this bench looks like. Okay, we'll shove this that way. You gotta come out of there. You gotta come out of there. Hi. You gotta move. Dan, you gotta go. Move. All right, so let's take a look at what it's going to look like now. Oh, that's awesome, Dan. That's perfect. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I've got to do a little bit of work on that to get it level, and I got to pull that out and do some dirt work behind it, and then just double check that for level. I think it's pretty cool. It's a good little sitting area. You can sit on that and use that as a little table. I can just put a chair over here. Look at this one. He's all excited. It's like, yay, houses. So yeah, I think it's going to work pretty good. So I just got to get it skippied up, but my main goal was to get it off the lumber bunk that I need back over there so I can get back to milling, and I got to clean all this up. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that leveled up. We'll just use it as a, like I said, a little bench slash seat slash table. And I like the height of where this is. I want water to be able just to go right straight to the ground, which is why I got to get all that dirt behind it out of there. So I'm going to fork underneath it and pull it out and go do some shovel work, get it all done up. Now those big ass 6x6s are all pressure treated. They can sit right where they are. And I wanted this to be movable so that, to be movable and stand alone, even if it ends up with a roof on it. So, because that's how I built the shed. So if I ever don't want it to stay here and I got to move it because I'm moving my mill yard around or something, then I built the base on that shed. If you didn't watch that series, you can watch some of it. It wasn't a very good building series, but it explained everything in the base so that I can go in with forks and pick this thing up and put it wherever I want it. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. And look at this dog. Now he's licking his feet with dirt on him. So kind of cool. Good use of stuff that was supposed to go to the dump. I do like the little angle on it there. I think that's kind of cool. I don't think that functionally it really offers me anything to drive around the corner. I do have to take all this dirt out next to the shed here because I don't want my shed base there. Everything else is off the ground except my shed base right there. This dirt's kind of washed down against it, so I got to get that out of there. So I'm probably going to bring it down to, you guys can't see the disparity, but there's a hole here now. So I'm going to bring it down to that level. I'm going to scrape some of this out of here and bring this road down a little bit. It needs to anyway. I don't know how well you can see where Danny is right there, but it goes uphill pretty much. So I want to get this all scraped out of here, and I will try to make a berm that goes through here and kind of down through there. I don't know if you can see that the backside's all off the ground. It's just on the block, so it never gets wet. So I kind of want everything to kind of run through here, and it goes down to a real low spot over in the yard over there. So yeah, I'm going to take out this bump, a bunch of the dirt right where Danny is, bring that whole grade down, then taper into this hillside. That's just all spoils there. And I'll work on it. I'll get it kind of all skippied up. And the best part about doing that is the deeper I go, the harder it gets. So once you get down there, this stuff is pretty damn hard. All right, well, I appreciate the watch. I don't think you learned anything, but hopefully it's kind of like just a cool little project to put a chair out here and be able to sit in the summertime and have my coffee and everything, and place maybe where Danny can hang out, and I can put a bowl of water up there. I tried putting a bowl inside the shed. He just won't go in and get it. So yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. And it's only going to get better. I will clean out that whole area over there. I'm going to burn all that wood and return all that back to grass around that maple tree right there. Get all those kind of stump tabletops out of there. These are just all logs that I thought would be cool for tabletops someday. Maybe I'll even flatten one of those off and put it over here somewhere. I don't know. Would have been good if I didn't use this, but I had to get this out of the shed. I need the room inside the shed. This had to go. We just didn't want to throw it out. This was a bench for Santa and the kids on the Christmas sleigh this year, and Kate didn't want to throw it out, so I stuck it inside the shed, but now it's coming out. That's pretty much it. So like, share, subscribe. Hit me up with any questions if you want. Hopefully I keep making these things better and better and better. And for now, for Danny and myself, Inspired Solutions out.